Hey friends, welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. Today is December 20th, Wednesday, and I appreciate you joining me today. I want to start out with just something super quick and super easy for you guys to do, and it would help out my channel greatly. I noticed in my analytics that over 50% of the people that are watching my Vlogmas, they're not subscribed to this channel, and it's such a bummer because number one, you would be notified if you click the bell and hit all notifications. You would be notified when I had a new Vlogmas video, or if I do something like this again. I have talked about doing one in the summer. Obviously this coming year I can't because I have a lot of retreats going on, but I've talked about doing something in like June, and it would be Americana based, about the history of America, and I would paint Americana paintings, you know. So there's a lot to offer in this channel when it comes to my art, at least. So if you're interested in that, also Whatcha Paint Wednesday, which I just got done doing with a group of gals. Well, when I say group of gals, they're not painting with me, but they were there chatting with me while I painted. You know, and that happens every Wednesday at 1. Not every single Wednesday, because there's sometimes I can't. I'm out of town or something, sick, whatever. But when I can, I am there because I really enjoy it, and it gets me painting at least, you know, once a week. So please, if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button and the little bell, notification bell. I would greatly appreciate that. So today, I don't have a lot to share with you. The question yesterday was, what is your favorite Christmas decoration? I can't like lay my finger on one thing. I just don't have one. I love all my Christmas decorations. I have some really cool, unique pieces because when we did Primitive Folk, that doesn't make sense. When we had our company Primitive Folk, and we would go to the Pennsylvania Market Square show in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. We used to go in February and June. They would have a show. And when I first started, that was in 1994, and it was all handmade in the United States. It was some of the coolest folk art you would ever see in your life. I think one of the biggest tragedies in that industry was everything being moved over to be made in China. It destroyed that handmade uniqueness. Not that things aren't handmade anymore. I think it's kind of coming back because people are appreciating it more and have missed it over these years. Not that great things can't be made over in China. I mean, look at Bethany Lowe, look at Primitives by Kathy. You know, they make still some very cool country primitive decor, and it's made in China. But I just, you know, close my eyes and sometimes take myself back to those days when it was handmade. And anyways, I have some very cool like wood carvings from the Whimsical Whittler. It was a husband-wife team, and they were just an hour from me in Mason, Michigan, and he has since passed. I don't know, probably maybe 5 to 7 years ago. But I have a couple of his pieces that I bought at Market Square, you know, and I used to be able to buy things wholesale. It was crazy. So I have some very unique pieces that I just really treasure. But I do want to talk about Debbee Thibault. I mentioned her also in my Vlogmas that I did 2 years ago. Kevin's about to come in, so my dog's gonna go, you know what, crazy. In that, when I did Vlogmas before, I think inserted pictures of her work, but I actually have just my Santas lined up here on this shelf. Well, it's not a shelf, it's like an old bookcase, actually. Very primitive. Oh, jeepers. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, I have a large collection of her stuff. Some Halloween stuff. I have her angels. She has Easter, really cute Easter stuff too. But I just want to show you what I have that are just strictly Santas. I think you can get a better idea of what they look like when I'm holding them, as far as like seeing what size they are and stuff. This one, I actually remember the name of it. I'm pretty sure. It's like, I'm like 99% sure that this one's called Christmas Spirit. Get out the picture here. Look at that, look at that face. Oh my gosh, it's so cool with that angel. The angel has a bell. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. That's what that reminds me of. And she usually has like cool little dangly things. He's got his little Santa pack and that tree. Just her stuff is very vintage, and they are kind of designed after like antique type toys from way back in the 1800s and stuff like that. I love him with his kind of buttery yellow coat and his red shoes. Oh, my battery's about to die. So now this guy needs a nose job because, when you have kids, even if they're grown adult kids, sometimes when they watch the house, they might get a little rambunctious and they break something and they don't tell you. Well, I didn't know that his little nose was scratched and then there's a gouge missing here, but I can fix that with paper clay. I need to take him down to the studio and do that, but look at him. So she is my inspiration for painting the Santas in different color other than the burgundy or the red, because she has blue coats, she has these mustard color coats. I'll show you one that's a mint green, super cool. So she's my inspiration for painting my Santa coats different colors. And these are big, as you can see while I'm holding them, how big they are. I mean, these are really big. I love this antique toy horse that he's riding on. He's holding a little sheep dangling there. His arms, move. But look at his crazy face. I love it. Look at his face. He's so cool. Now you might be wondering, are these still available? Can you find them? You can. Oh, I don't know if you noticed this little heart. She does this a lot too. And all of this is handmade. Well, I mean, she hand makes the original, and then she makes a mold of it. But they were all made in California in her studio, and she had, several people hired to paint them. And they do a beautiful job painting them and antiquing them to look old. Let's move these little guys. I want to do all the big ones first. I have a couple that need fixing. This one I love. This is the one I was mentioning with the mint green coat. Isn't he cool? And he's holding a little rabbit toy. See the little bunny? Oh my gosh, I love her work so much. Oh yeah, I started to talk about where you can buy her stuff. You can find it on eBay. I think last year I purchased a piece on eBay. And you can also find it at Earth Angels. Is it just earthangels.com or earthangelstudio.com? The lady that does that, I can't think of her name right now, but she has a lot of cool handmade, unique items from various artists. And Debbee Thibault is one of them. So I don't know if the things that she has on her site, if they're still being made, or if those are ones people are just trying to sell. So I don't know. You'd have to check with them. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Is this the one? I know there's another one that needs some touching up. I love his color coat. I do mine more of a sagey, light sagey color, but this evergreen color is very pretty. He's holding a little Santa guy. So cool. This is one of my favorite ones. He's not quite as big, as you can see with my hand. Quite a bit smaller than the ones I've been showing you. I just love him with the traditional red coat, His hands in his pockets. Oh, he's so cool. So cool. This guy is so funny. He's a roly-poly. He's a weeble-wobble, but this one actually would fall down. Isn't he cool? They have like an elfish kind of face, I think, a lot of them. And then here's my smaller ones. I love the simplicity of this one with the shaker boxes. He's really small. So here's my hand. You can see how small he is. He's tiny, but he's got shaker boxes and then this little bell hanging down. Look at the base. Oh, just all the details. Fantastic. This is a crossover between Halloween and Christmas. Little Santa carving a pumpkin. I mean, her stuff is just priceless to me. It's just treasures. And I know, I'm like 99.9% sure that she's not making any new characters. So anything that you buy is something that, you know, has been around for a long time. And they're all signed and numbered. And she only makes so many of them and then they retire. Got a little heart and a little sheep. Like this one, for instance, says 1,085 out of 2,500. You can see there. That's my Debbie Thibault's Santa collection. Love it so much. So I guess if I had to pick something, I would just say my Debbie Thibault Santa collection. And that's not just one thing, but yesterday's question was, your favorite Christmas decoration, and the key word was decoration. And the prize is an 8x10 unframed print from our Etsy shop. The winner is Connie Haas 1039. She said, so hard to say which decoration is my favorite. My mom has made a tradition out of giving each of us girls a collectible ornament for probably 30 years. Those have their own little tree, which is white and beautiful with the blue decorations. I also have a little village the grandchildren helped me set up with little people and trees. I think that is a joyful thing to share with them. I also have a very special ornament with a picture of my daddy in it. He passed very suddenly when he was 63, way too young, and it was a huge loss. But I feel like he is with the rest of us at Christmas when the decorations are all up. He loved Christmas and made it so special for all of us too. Oh, Connie, I'm so sorry for your loss. Yeah, that's what I was talking about yesterday, how difficult this time of year can be for people. Okay, let me back up. If you could please get a hold of me, Connie, at teresakogut3@gmail.com. Let me know which print you want. We'll get that in the mail as soon as we can, and we just need your name and address as well. Well, your name is Connie Haas. Sorry. Okay, next question is, do you send out Christmas cards every year? Your keyword is going to be cards, and the prize is going to be 3 PDF cross-stitch patterns of your choice from our Etsy shop. That will include any of the Jingle Ball exclusives, so those won't be in my Etsy shop, but if you are aware of the Jingle Ball, or if maybe you went and you missed out on one of the patterns, you're welcome to choose that as well. So that will be the prize, and again, your keyword is cards. That's all I have for you today, and we're winding down. I think tomorrow is going to be the last day that I read out of that book. I'm pretty sure that will fit in, you know, the speed painting video tomorrow. So that's actually nice because I think the next day is my last one. Wait, 9, 10, oh no, that'll be 2 days. I got to figure out what to put in there. Maybe it'll just be music, let you guys chill. So thanks for joining me again today. Maybe Mr. Wims can join us one more time before we're done with Vlogmas. We end, the 12th day will be like Christmas Eve, because Christmas Eve is going to be so busy, and so is Christmas Day, so I didn't want to include those 2 days. So, all right, thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow. Bye. In 1843, Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol, which sold 6,000 copies the first day. Perhaps the most touching line was Tiny Tim's "God bless us everyone." Quote, "And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us everyone." End quote. In 1849, Charles Dickens wrote The Life of Our Lord for his 10 children, depicting the biblical accuracy of the birth, ministry, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Charles Dickens stated, quote, "The New Testament is the very best book that ever was or ever will be known in the world." End quote. In 1843, J.C. Hardy made the first lithographic Christmas cards. These cards carried the Christmas message and were convenient to mail. O Holy Night was composed by Adolphe Adam in 1847 to the French poem by Placide Cappeau, a wine merchant and poet who had been asked by a parish priest to write a Christmas poem. John Sullivan Dwight, editor of Dwight's Journal of Music, created a singing edition based on Cappeau's French text in 1855. O holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, O hear the angels' voices. O night divine, O night when Christ was born. Led by the flight of faith serenely beaming, with glowing hearts by his cradle we stand. So led by light of a star sweetly gleaming, here come the wise men from Orient land. The King of Kings lay thus in lowly manger, in all our trials born to be our friend. He knows our need, to our weakest is no stranger. Behold your King, before him lowly bend. Truly, he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy and grateful chorus raise we. Let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is the Lord, O praise his name forever. His power and glory evermore proclaim. Richard Storrs Willis first published It Came Upon a Midnight Clear in Church Chorals and Choir Studies, New York, 1850. It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on earth, goodwill to men, from heaven, all gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the cloven skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurl, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above its sadly and lowly plains, they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er the Babel sounds the blessed angels sing. Yet with the woes of sin and strife the world has suffered long. Beneath the angel strain have rolled 2,000 years of wrong. And man at war with man hears not the love song which they bring. Oh, hush the noise, ye men of strife, and hear the angels sing. And ye beneath life's crushing load, whose forms are bending low, who toil along the climbing way with painful steps and slow. Look now, for glad and golden hours come swiftly on the wing. O rest beside the weary road, and hear the angels sing. For lo, the days are hastening on, by prophet bards foretold, when with the ever-circling years shall come the age of gold, when peace shall over all the earth its ancient splendors fling, and all the world give back the song which now the angels sing. In the year 1856 A.D., President Franklin Pierce placed the first Christmas tree in the White House. In 1857, Reverend John Henry Hopkins wrote We Three Kings of Orient Are for the Christmas pageant of the General Theological Seminary in New York City. We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring a crown him again, king forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still preceding, guide us to thy perfect light. Frankincense I offer have I, incense owns a deity nigh, prayer and praising, all men raising, worship him, God Most High. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Myrrh is mine, its bitter perfume breathes of life, of gathering gloom, sorrowing, sighing, bleeding, dying, sealed in the stone-cold tomb. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still preceding, guide us to thy perfect light. Glorious now, behold him arise, King and God and sacrifice. Alleluia, alleluia, earth to heaven's reply. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still preceding, guide us to that perfect light. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's oldest son, Charles Appleton Longfellow, enlisted in the Union Army during the Civil War without Henry's knowledge, being informed by a letter from him dated March 14, 1863, quote, I have tried hard to resist the temptation of going without your leave, but I cannot any longer. I feel it to be my first duty to do what I can for my country, and I would willingly lay down my life for it if it would be of any good. End quote. Appointed as lieutenant, Charles was severely wounded in November 1864 at the Battle of New Hope Church in Virginia during the Mine Run campaign. This occurred shortly after Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's wife, Frances, had died as a result of an accidental fire. On Christmas Day that year, 1864, Longfellow wrote his poem Christmas Bells. It was published in February 1865 in Our Young Folks, a juvenile magazine published by Tinknor and Fields. In 1872, the poem was set to music by the English organist John Baptiste Culkin, who used a melody he previously used in 1848. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat, of peace on earth, goodwill to men. I thought how as this day had come, the belfries of the Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair I bowed my head, there's no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And pealed the bells more loud and deep, God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day, a voice, a chime, a chant sublime, of peace on earth, goodwill to men.